112,000 deaths. Well, the death of former Deacon George Brignac halted the only ongoing criminal case involving a local member of the Catholic clergy. The 85-year-old was awaiting a trial on a rape charge when he died Monday.
But what about clergy members who have been credibly accused of abuse? Chief investigative reporter Greg LaRose looks into whether they will ever face charges.
In 2018, the Archdiocese of New Orleans released a list of clergy members, living and deceased, who they acknowledged have been credibly accused of sexual abuse. George Brignac was on the list. He was indicted late last year on a rape charge from his time at Our Lady of the Rosary in the 1970s, where he taught math and was in charge of altar boys. Brignac's death leaves 12 priests and 2 deacons on the Archdiocese list of living accused clergy. They haven't been accused of crimes, only removed from the ministry. Most are in their 70s and 80s, and accusers fear they won't live long enough to face justice.
These men are aging, and we don't want them to age out of being punished for sex crimes. And that's what this issue is about, is punishing sex crimes against children.
Kevin Bourgeois went public with his allegations 2 years ago. He says he was abused by a priest when he was 16 years old. That priest, Carl Davidson, is on the Archdiocese list as being credibly accused. He died in 2007.
You know, so you have generations of survivors that are alive and well today that still are living in pain and living in a sense of needing to have a sense of justice.
Bourgeois and other alleged victims of living priests and deacons want authorities to launch investigations into their abuse claims. They say Archbishop Gregory Aymond holds key information that would move their cases forward. DA Leon Cannizzaro brought the Brignac case forward last year after the Archdiocese reached settlements with his accusers, totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Do you have any gut feeling as to whether with George Brignac's death that we're going to see any more investigations?
I'm sure the investigation is going to continue. It may not go in the direction of Mr. Brignac because he's passed, but they're going to continue seeking information about others if they can do so. But again, it's very, very difficult because of the time period.
Legal analyst Robert Jenkins says the challenge for prosecutors is that these alleged crimes happened decades ago. And unless it's first-degree rape, like the charge against Brignac, state law limits the time between the crime and when charges can be filed. Then there are the little details.
You have to go out and try to find any witnesses or any physical evidence that supports the claim. Otherwise, it's that person's claim against the defendant's claims.
Bourgeois believes the Archdiocese could shed more light on abuse, but it isn't compelled to share any information with law enforcement unless it's under a subpoena. The church has reached settlements with multiple accusers, but Bourgeois says restitution doesn't fully heal victims.
So private mediation doesn't offer that. It begins the process of it, but we live with the lifelong collateral of shame and abuse and fear, and you know, there's a lot of potential that wasn't realized.
That was Greg LaRose reporting. The Archdiocese of New Orleans issued a statement for this story. It says in part, quote, "We pledge out full and continued cooperation into any law enforcement investigations, just as we cooperated in the investigation of George Brignac," end quote.